Okay. This day is an episode I'm pretty proud of, even though... Okay, I don't think the try again button works anymore after I rebound it. That's great, despite what the UI says. I don't remember if I got the treasure box here before. But I am proud of last episode, even if it was a full episode of me just doing one stage. Oh, you're under... Okay, I think I got you at one point, didn't I? That's the thing, you need to go on one of the platforms outside. Like this one. Something like that? I feel like I want to approach from the opposite direction, though. Centrifugal force, just pushing me outwards the whole time. Look at me go. Nice shading. But yes. Perhaps I'm wrong about how to approach this thing. It's an annoying spot, honestly. What's a good, convenient way to approach that platform? Is this the platform? It is. I also like how I never even bothered trying to start off on different platforms, which I absolutely could have done from the very beginning. I'm kind of surprised that just going forwards to start with happened to be a sensible choice. I guess the idea is that usually whenever you have to do what it's suggesting I need to do now, the way you do it is you just need a whole lot of speed, essentially. I guess you can kind of jump at it this way. They occasionally like to put treasure boxes underneath platforms in ways that you cannot approach from beneath. And the only way to get to them, as far as I can tell, is to just approach them very quickly. Which I tend to find kind of obnoxious to actually do. Kind of like that, like just get a good bounce. Ah, yeah, like that. I think we got it. Now I get to see a whole other stage today. What a thought. Eventually. Of course, it could take like half an episode just trying to get this, like I did that one particular treasure box that you had to bounce off of an angled surface to get. I forget the name of the stage or other such details I could use to better identify it, but still. That was one where I figured out how to get it pretty quickly, but it took me forever to get the thing just because it was attached to the underside of a moving platform that you could not actually see and aim for. There we go. Oh, this one again. No, why not? Be red. Do I recognize you? Oh, this feels like a very Marble Blast kind of stage, doesn't it? This feels new, too. It's nice, if I'm correct. So surely, I do see that there are gems everywhere, but surely there will be some way of working out shortcuts for this stage. Oh, that feels good at the end there, too. Alright, well, we'll just play nice to start with. Like, imagine this... I'll just run along and see if I can get used to doing these little bits of platforming. But surely you can imagine doing precisely this same stage with a bunch of mud instead of ice. Back in Marble Blast. Oh. You have to be pretty careful about your approach. Just fairly obvious, I imagine, but jeez. I don't see any obvious tricks so far, though, to be perfectly... Man, I don't expect to get that airtime I do there. I expect to have a lot more time to slow down. Could not unbound that button, unfortunately. Don't know why you can't. Unbind. Almost. I could just slow down. Wouldn't that be a crazy idea? Yeah. Should probably keep in mind the ability to jump when I'm on these slippery surfaces. It probably is a fairly important ability to make use of in a lot of places. Because it does give you that extra bounce when you land that you can actually influence your direction a little bit better on. Well, this feels so very Marvel Blast Gold, my god. No! I'm curious what a diamond here even is. I know this diamond is only like 45 seconds. Compared to the 50 seconds of gold high. That jump was definitely warranted and intentional. This is another one of those stages where I really wish I could just see the diamond time to start with. Whoa, okay. Could not jump. I was holding the jump button too, that was strange. But yeah, I don't see any things you can skip here, really. I may have just not thought hard enough, or noticed something that is important to notice. But looks like basically every segment has a gem on it. I'm navigating these somewhat consistently, but it still doesn't feel comfortable at all. Feels like I'm only barely managing to not throw myself off every surface here. Ah, man. It's quite a short stage, though, which again, I do appreciate. That wasn't me jumping to try to, like, cut corners to be fast, it was me jumping to not die. In case you couldn't tell. Oh, I think jumping there actually does help you slow down, paradoxically. So could I go faster here, but when I land... Yeah, that's what I wanted. But then when I land... Well, not exactly what I had in mind, but I'll take it. Yeah, that extra kick you get when you land, just from the friction of you hitting the ground, because you can actually use your spin, is very useful. But also, of course, when you jump, that also, since these are curved platforms, or, you know, slope platforms, it does also push you in the direction that the ground is perpendicular to. How in the world does this keep happening? I know I was gonna fall there anyway, so I'm not gonna complain too hard, but... Yeah, never underestimate the way this game's jumps work. You cannot ignore how you get pushed off in a particular direction based on the ground beneath you. You'll have to work your way out of that intuition of jump means go up. Even if it is, in general, true in this game. See, if I hadn't... Jumping there actually did help me at the very end, even though I jumped and fell off, which is easy to label as, oh, you shouldn't have jumped and fallen off. But jumping actually slowed me down a lot more than not jumping would have. I think I may be going a little bit too Daredevil at this point too, trying to be quick on here. I don't know though. Because I have a feeling, having seen that it looks like 40 seconds or so is possible, I get the feeling that I'm gonna need something like that for a diamond here. Since being more careful here, and playing at what felt like a more reasonable pace, only got me like 45 seconds. Which I suspect is not going to be good enough for a diamond only being a couple seconds faster than gold. I could be wrong. Again, if I just knew what the diamond time was, it would not be a problem. I would know how much to exert myself. I'm not sure I really like the tradition that games like this tend to have with the strictest time to beat actually being hidden. Ah, man, it probably is 40. Okay. I think I just have to exit and come back to restart. I don't have a restart button that actually functions on that screen anymore. That last little bit of... Should I jump that second time I land on the ice? No, I don't think so. I can't tell if I'm being stupid about my approach on this first part or not. It is also possible that you just need to get a way better time than 45 seconds by skipping something to get a diamond. And again, that's the sort of thing that I could probably know if I could see what the time for diamond was. It's just like how much you try to really go all out on taking crazy shortcuts and whatnot, cutting corners, is really a function of how good of a time you need to get. That was great. How'd that happen? So if I know how good of a time I need to get, I can act appropriately. And nothing makes you appreciate how much control you have over the marble on regular ground, like going on a bunch of ice does. I think you have little control with how heavy the marble is on regular ground. Try surfaces like these. We're just gonna get into a song every time we restart, eh? I guess so. And the amount of optimization I need at this point is not a whole lot, all things considered. Nope, that was too much. Since I just need to beat my current time by what I suspect is just a couple of seconds, I could be wrong. I could also just give up at some point, that's also a perfectly valid option. But I'd like to go for a diamond because I feel it's probably within my grasp. If I'm correct, it's 45 seconds. If I find that it's actually less than 45 seconds and I don't see any crazy shortcuts I can take, then I will actually just say, okay, never mind. But otherwise, nope. I think I've discovered the secret to making that turn really cleanly. It's not screaming through the entire straightaway as fast as possible. It's a pretty shocking discovery. Yeah, this is the point where I am clearly just falling over lots of parts because I'm trying to go through them too quickly, but... What am I supposed to do? Not try to go through them quickly? Be fast. That wasn't fast enough anyways. I don't know if jumping there is... The spacing doesn't seem to work out quite right if I do jump like that there, unfortunately. I don't know if that's a good idea. Cool. I'm getting a little bit... It's very tempting to get a little bit of extra speed on that last ramp just by jumping. It's just that if I do... it seems like I'm going to end up doing exactly what happened last time, where I just run into the side of that last little step. Oh, okay, I wasn't expecting to hit that wall. Deliberately hitting that wall would have actually been good. The difference was that I didn't hit it deliberately. Probably want a bit more speed going into this icy section. Again, that time I thought I would hit the wall. It's so many situations in this game where a very, very tiny impact or a very, very tiny difference of whether you bounce or not, or whether you happen to very slightly tap a particular surface or not, makes a very large difference in outcome. And if you happen to misjudge which of those things is going to happen, it ruins your entire life. And this hasn't felt like an unusually good run here. But I don't know if there is such a thing here as just like, I don't think that, I can't tell if there's really any secret here, truth be told. Because you have to go through every part, it seems like. So I think you really do have to just be efficient. I definitely messed up, I definitely messed up one part last time I was here. The second checkpoint. Or is it the second? I don't pay attention to the checkpoints, they don't register in my mind. Yeah, it is the second checkpoint. Getting to that part. Right here. Definitely lost a lot of time and speed there. Which I pretty much just repeated just now as well, granted. But maybe I can make it up on some other part, I don't know. Trying to just go all in on trying to jump and land on. Yeah. Trying to jump and land on the curved surface to redirect myself a little bit. Okay. Getting the most out of the period of time I can. Oh, that's a very good turn. That I can spend on regular ground there is very good for me. That saves a lot of time. That makes the turn a lot easier. Yeah, I came into that way too hard on the inside. Whoops. That was probably not great. Had to completely slow down at the end. So yes, you want to end that on the inside there. This one song that has that one Really? Oh. Huh. This one song has a drum that only plays in the right ear, and I hate it. Or something. I don't think it's my headphones. Because, like, I've had multiple headphones, and I've had similar things happen before. I'm starting to wonder if there are certain, like, drum noises or something I can't hear in one ear. For some reason. I don't really notice any differences in hearing between ears, but I wonder if one ear just can't hear as low frequencies as the other or something, and that's why I sometimes only hear... No, it's not always... So another song that gives me this problem by, like, a large... like, quite a lot, is the Concept of Love Passion mix. There's like a tambourine or hi-hat kind of thing you hear in that song as well. I only hear it in one ear. And I did at one point tell someone else to look at it, and they claimed that they didn't hear anything that was only in one ear. I should show that to someone else today and see if there are any thoughts they have on whether it's playing in both ears or not. I don't know why one ear would not be able to hear simultaneously both hi-hats and low drums, while seeming to hear everything else fine. I start to wonder now. Okay, but let's just, before I end this episode here and admit defeat on getting a diamond on this stage, I want to see, let me just recount. Is there really any good way I could try to skip anything? So I don't see a reasonable way of not immediately going from here. I mean, you don't want to go uphill, right? So you don't want to say, dude, you don't want to say, jump onto here and go up the hill. I don't think. If you're willing to assume you don't want to do that, because then I'd still have to, at that point I'd basically have to come back up here and jump down there, which doesn't seem efficient to me. Like, if I go around this way normally, how long does this take roughly? So that's about 15 seconds. Let me keep going on this run just because it's going okay, and I'd like to see if I can make anything of it. Nope. If I go around the other way, which seems like a really dumb thing to do, surely it'll take more than 15 seconds. And of course there's room for optimization and so on, but even keeping that in mind. Yeah, and that is absolutely slower. And we are doing kind of a figure eight kind of thing here. So on the other hand, if I get over here, let me grab the... Yeah. But presumably it's not going to save me any time to, I don't know, try to go up this thing backwards, right? I don't think so. Let me set up that checkpoint real quick. Do still appreciate the brevity of this stage. We're getting shorter stages in this last chapter, which I really appreciate. I enjoy them a lot more. But I don't see myself somehow saving time going up around this way, right? I wouldn't think so. And now you give me a checkpoint out of order. And then from here I could do something like jumping down to the checkpoint from there. I don't think that could possibly be faster though. And let me give it one quick shot. That's the only other way of trying to go through this faster that I can see routing wise. Otherwise, it seems to me like you just have to do even better than I did. Maybe it is... And maybe I'm just off by like a second or two. And you just need to do marginally better than I have. Or maybe you just need to do a lot better than I have on the same route. I don't really know. And this idea doesn't work if I don't also take a good approach. If I don't also get a good time on the top part, so... Oh man, that would be very difficult. I just can't see how that would be faster. I really can't. And you're covering effectively all the same ground. The only part that you're skipping is the fastest one, right? So I think I'll call it here. So next time we'll look for the treasure box here, and oh well, for getting the diamond in this stage. Have we gone all diamonds here? We have. Oh, that's sad though. I might have to come back if I get diamonds everywhere else, but I'm doubtful. Alright, we'll see.